Hello and welcome to the second program tutorial where I'll be teaching you how to make games. So in the last video we covered modulus, which is basically remainder after division, and we learned that to correctly find the shift amounts within the scope of one alphabet, we must take the Oh, and by the way, we were making a message encoder in case you forgot. So, in order to correctly find the shift amount when it's greater than 26, you must take modulus 26 in order to find the shift amount within one alphabet. But this only works when the shifted letter is in front or behind the original letter. To fix this, we actually need to subtract 26 or add 26 to get to correctly shift the letters that are actually shifted in the opposite way of what we were expecting. So therefore, if we shifted A, some number of units, actually if we shifted G, some number of units to the right and happened to land on E, we are indeed shifting right, but when it's in one alphabet, it's actually shifting 3 units to the left. So this is why we need this formula. Okay, so today we will be learning how to program it. So let's begin by creating ourselves a alphabet. So we will create a variable that will store a string made up of all the letters in the alphabet. So let's just do that. And I'll just do this. Okay, sorry this is taking me a while. You can skip ahead, but we're gonna make sure we show each step here. Okay, we got ourselves a alphabet. Okay, now the next step is to actually create a. Now, the next step of our program is to create a input place for our user. So the user can actually enter stuff. So here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna create a prompt for the user. And in case you don't know what a prompt looks like, I'll show you later. And we'll tell them to type in a sentence. Cool, and we also need them to input a shift amount, which is going to be a number. And since anything typed in the prompt is a string, we must first convert it into a number. So we're using the number function here to do it, and we're gonna type in shift amount. Next, we need a place to store our encoded message. So we're gonna create another empty string, and then that will make us be able to store it. Okay, so we're just gonna see what it looks like right now. And here, this is what the prompt looks like, and we can type in anything we want in here. And for now, it doesn't really matter yet. Okay, so we got the basic user interface. Now let's find out how we're gonna encode our message. So obviously we want to perform our shift operation for every letter, every character. So we're gonna to do that, we're gonna use a for loop, and we're gonna do so. And I expect that you already know what the for loop is. And we wanted to loop the for loop all the way up to the length of the string, right? Alright, so for each letter, we must check if it is a letter, and then shift the letter according to the input, right? So how do we check if it's a letter? Well, we can try to do this. And just follow along here, and I'll explain everything later. Basically what this line does is it checks for the index of our letter or each of our characters in the string, and if it's found inside this alphabet, it means it's a letter, and -1 means that it wasn't found. Okay, and then next we must check if the number is greater than 1, greater than 0, or less than 0, and so that it can distinguish between shifting right and shifting left. So let's do that. And this is going to be a pretty simple program, so I hope you can follow along here. And we'll also create a condition. And in fact, let's do greater than or equal, since we can the user can also choose not to shift the letter, right? Okay. So we got the basics set up. And now we must write our actual logic inside. So yeah, okay, so let's just start with the basic condition first. If num is greater than 0, we will use this one for now. We'll use this formula for now, and we'll deal with this later. So how do we code that in? Well, we're gonna add a letter to our coded message, and to do that, we're gonna use plus equals, which means adding, and assignment, and we're gonna add a character in the alphabet, which we'll reference using the index. And to do that, we're gonna get the index of our character in the user's message. I'm gonna add it to this formula right over here, and we're gonna do that using num, which represents our shift amount, modulus 26. Okay, and that should work perfectly. And for now, we'll just check the values that are within one alphabet. So in fact, let's run it and see if it works. Okay, so let's say we type in a letter. We're going to type in hello, and we're going to type in 1. Oh, and in fact, let's print out our result after. So we're going to go console.log. And we're going to print out our coded message. And let's put a comment here so that we know what we're talking about. Output encoded message. Okay, and in fact, let's put comments. So this is gonna get users sentence, and here get shipped amount, encoded message. And you can probably go through and do that yourself. So let's move on. Alright, so we've done this, and now we're gonna try it out. Okay, so we have to type in hello, and type. Let's say we want to shift it by 1 to the right, and we should get an output. I wonder what we did wrong. Well, let's think about this, right? Input I, and let's think about this. This is where you need a little bit of thinking here, right? So how do we do this? As you can see, whenever you forget brackets, that might be whenever it's wrong, right? Ooh, we're losing another one of this. Okay, well, let's just get rid of that. Okay, now we're good. Okay, let's make sure to check your brackets. And we were using it. Okay, good. Now if we type in hello, and that should be what we get. And you can check it, and it works. Okay, so now for now it works, right? And in fact, let's write the code for the basic example of writing the shifting left, and we're gonna subtract we actually need to do math.absolute value because we're taking the positive, because we are in fact taking the positive mod 26, because negative just makes everything more difficult. And yes, so we're okay. I messed up my brackets again. Okay, and we're gonna take the modulus of that now. Okay, and now, so let's test that and see if it works, right? So we're gonna type in hello, and we're gonna type in -1. And indeed it works. Okay, nice. Now if you want, we can just leave it here, right? So, but this only works within the scope of one output, right? And in fact, I'll leave that as a challenge as for all of you to understand how to code it. And in fact, let's just write it down anyway. Actually, no, we're not going to write it down. I will include it in this description, and you guys can figure it out yourself.